Here we are once again on a mechanics video, Hyundai Sonata. About to start the inner and outer tie rod removal. And what is going to be needed is 14 millimeters on the caliper to remove the caliper to access the bolt for the tie rod in. And that bolt is also a 14 millimeter. You have the collie pin, which you'll grab a needle nose pliers, something of that. This bolt here is a 24 on the tie rod end. And then you have the boot on the inner tie rod where you take some pliers to remove the clamp. And way in the back is a specialty one. Right here is the tools we're going to use. We're going to use a torch, 24, a 17, needle nose pliers, 3/8, a long flathead, 17, a 14, and we had to buy a new clamp. Here it is. Mark have broken the 14 millimeters for the caliper. Which now he is going to remove. There it is, folks. And this is where your C-clamp come in, where he's going to push it back so later down the line you can go ahead and get that out of the way. So right now he's pushing the piston back on the caliper, which that is a nice little tool. As you see, it holds itself on the caliper. As he twists the knob, you can see it depresses the piston of the caliper. That way, when it goes back on the brake pads and stuff like that, it just slides right back into place. Once he's done with that, so he won't damage the brake line hose, he has a zip tie, to which he's just basically going to put it anywhere he can find. To me, look like he's going to use the strut, just to keep it up out of his way so he can work more easily and don't have to worry about anything becoming damaged or anything like that. Now that Mark got that out the way, he's assessing the 14 millimeter tie rod end bolt. As you can see, the light right there at the bottom is illuminated. It does have a collie pin, which stops the bolt from unscrewing itself in case of emergency. So they put a collie pin in there, and that's where the needle nose plier come into place. You simply just grab it, just see how it is, pinch it together, but it pulls out. As you can see, as he wiggle it, he have removed the collar pin. Now he have grabbed his 14 millimeter. Counterclockwise. And there's one tool that I see that I forgot to get him set up with, and that is the hammer. You're gonna need this, basically just give it a tap on the tie rod end to break it free. There you go. Sorry about that, Mark. He already broke the 24 loose. And as you see, the tie rod end dropped down. So right now, it have depressed itself out of the fitting. Remove the bolt, and the tie rod end is gonna completely just come out. Now, sometimes you might have to tap it, you know, on the screw end, or, you know, wiggle it around, but it's out of there. And the reason being is because the little screw, the guide screw or whatever, could just be one direction while it's pressure on that side. So that's why you have to like just wiggle or maybe just tap on it with your sludge. But once you remove that screw, just watch how easily he make it seem. See? Fell right out. And he already broke that. So now he's unscrewing the tie rod in. Very simple. So what we do is we count the threads. As you can see, he's counting the threads from the bolt. So that way on the new parts that we install, we can get it as close as possible to what the old ones came off until we can get it up to a wheel alignment shop.
I counted 8 threads from the front part of the inner tie rod to the bolt. That's 8 threads in there. So roughly between 8 and 9 threads is the thread counts you're gonna have for this backing bolt. Backing nut. So now that we got that count down, so now I can just take this backing nut all the way off to pull the boot off, and then we can loosen the inner tie rod. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back while we get that together.
Now with the boot removed, we just put a pipe wrench, turn counterclockwise to get it. So use the edge, take your time with it, and let's see if we can get this thing to break loose. And there you have it. So now only thing you do is just screw the new piece in. That simple. And then put your pipe wrench on it, give it a snug fit. That's it. But you know, like I said, make sure you still take it to a shop to get the proper alignment that you're gonna need. So now that we have counted the threads from our old one, it's simply just screwing the tie rod in to the inner tie rod. After screwing the tie rod in onto the inner tie rod, it's simply just putting it back into the lower control arm. Well, no, that's not the control arm. The lower spindle, I'm sorry. And tighten everything back up. Did a full inner and outer tie rod, both sides, putting it back together. Now he's tightening up the bolt, gonna put the collie pin back in and put the brake caliper back on. And that's how you do an inner and outer tie rod job on a 2012 Hyundai Sonata. Thanks, Mark.
Not a problem.